What's up, everyone? It's your boy ShowtimeDr. I'm back, and I'm coming at you with the May guide, May build. How I'm building May, kind of a tank buster here, and tanks are quite meta right now in PvP, so let's get started. So our leadership, nothing to write home about. Wind allies, crit strike damage by 20. You know, most of the time you're not really going to use that. So our passive, acquire 4-leaf clover when taunted. 4-leaf clover, carrot. Ignores defense for all attacks against enemies and inflicts 20% additional damage. So that's pretty cool right there. Ignore defense and inflict 20%. You get to her 60 passive. She has a 70% chance just to get that 4-leaf clover at the start of her turn without a taunt. So the duration's always 1 turn, by the way, guys, on that clover. So you might just be ignoring defense and hitting 20% harder just for the hell of it at the beginning of the turn. 100% chance to increase evasion by 50% for 2 turns. This is actually a really nice buff, guys, not only for survivability, but since Aemon has a 45% accuracy buff, as long as he has Revelation Signet up, which is when he uses his 1 and his 2. Aemon will still have a good chance to hit May if Aemon's targeting May. And if Aemon happens to taunt May, then your odds of wrecking face are that much better. So, and if you count that, guys, oh, actually, hold on, let me read the rest. Once per battle. In addition, increases damage dealt to all enemies by 50% when the caster is taunted. So you get taunted here, 20%. You get that 4-leaf clover. You get taunted anyways, once you have her 60, 70% extra damage, 50 plus 20. That is really nasty, guys. Now on her 1, inflict damage equal to 100% of attack to 1 target, 35% chance to increase the target's defense by 30%. As you level it up, the base damage goes up, you know how it goes, until you get to 160, 60% chance. So that's pretty good. Now this decreased target's defense, that'll come into play here on her 2. Inflict damage equal to 121% of attack to 3 targets. Inflicts 22% additional damage if the target's defense is reduced. So remember, guys, healers, most people talent their healers to reduce defense. So if that just happens to be up for whatever reason, or maybe she put up with her 1 on a multi or a counter, hey, that's, you know, normally it's 20%. As you scale it up, eventually it'll get to 35%. So that's a percentage bonus if that happens to go off, and you're taunted, you know, the extra 70%. 105% chance there, guys. Or 105 a chance there for 105% more damage, rather, if the stars align. And then her ulti, inflict damage equal to 300% of attack to 1 target. 100% chance to decrease target's recovery amount, basically blocks healing for 2 turns. And as you scale it up, base damage goes up, and eventually the 480% is your base damage, and the block heal is 3 turns. So on a skill cooldown of 5, that's pretty good. Definitely recommend for skill ups, do her world record carrot, especially if you're going into PvP, then do her 2. Now, the way I've built my Karen, you know, her attack's pretty high considering I don't have her last purple star yet, so that's going to go 20% higher. Attack speed, you know, it's base. Crit damage, or crit chance rather. I probably actually could have built that a little bit more. Crit damage, you know, I probably could take a little bit away from that. And if I could redo this, maybe I'll look into her runes later on. I'd probably take away from crit damage, put a little bit more into chance and a little bit more into counter. And probably take the multi as well. Accuracy. As you see, I've actually given her some accuracy. Reason being, she's hitting tanks, and Aemon is, bar none, the tank you see in PvP now, and he has passive 45% evasion most of the time. So you want to buff up your accuracy. You don't have to go the full 45, but you want to buff it up a little bit, so that May's more likely than not going to hit him. Now, multis, whatever, I would do counter. And I'll show you why I would do counter. I got to get the talents before I show you guys. Evasion you don't need because she procs 50% evasion when she loses half her life. HP, you know, get her a little bit of HP, keep her up. And then defense, you know, your standard stuff. Get her a little bit of defense. Now runes, as you can see, she's there for attack, so attack and crit chance increase. Most of this, like I said, I'd get rid of crit damage if I could. HP increase, crit chance. Same thing on that rune. This rune's all HP. Attack, I'd give her a multi if I could for either more attack or possibly more crit chance. I forget what spawns on these runes. Or that rune, rather. And then here, this is where my accuracy is. I believe counter spawns on either the 4 or 5 as well. So, but all in all, that's a pretty good rune for her right there. And then 6, double attack crit chance, pretty solid. So, now hero talents, this is where I was talking about counter would come into play. So attack, you know, your standard stuff there. And the reason I'm not going elemental is because the tanks that she's going to be doing damage against are most likely going to be Clods and Amons. Ian doesn't appear super whole lot in PvP. Now, increased damage dealt in arena by 30%. You know, it's a TankBuster. Now, some of you are going to be like, defense, what the hell is going on here? Well, I don't need damage over time burns. Like, that's not how my team synergizes. Elemental decrease. Yeah, Ruby's there in PvP a lot, and Ruby can one-shot her, but for the most part, you know, she's taking damage from all types of people, so get her some defense, in my opinion. Now, instead of taking the decreased damage in arena, I actually ended up taking this 20% chance to increase attack by 30% in conjunction with the penetration damage, or a chance for penetration for 2 turns. Guys, you're going to need that penetrate, and the reason I'm amping that, or I'm repping that counter, or I should have been repping the counter more, she has 2 procs right here when she gets hit, and especially if she gets taunted, guys, you want her to be going through damage shields because, you know, Amon's throwing out lots of damage shields, so is Claude. So is Christian's putting damage shields on himself, etc. guys. Sid's putting out a lot of damage shields. You're starting to see a lot of Sids in PvP. So you want to just get rid of those damage shields where you can, or just go right through them. So that's the reason I chose to do penetration. Now I could get the extra 5%, but it's already a low chance, and you know how rerolling those 58s are. But imagine you get hit, you proc, you know, say you get taunted, you proc that extra damage, you proc that penetration, maybe you're lucky you get the attack too. You got 70% bonus attack from her passives when she's taunted. You got another 30% here from this proc. And then depending on what's going on with her buffs, and you know, that could be a whole lot of extra damage, guys. And you see how I've amped her attack already. So let me get back to her. I already got her at 7661 without the purple stars, so she's ready to rock. Now, your purple stars, all of them are good, guys. I'm not even going to go through them, but all of them are good for her. So accuracy, defense, crit chance, crit damage, speed, all that stuff's good for her. So, all right, and let's get to it here. So apparently we're fighting the costume team here. Who is that? Ashley? God, he looks like such a dork. Ramu. Mina. Alright, well, this isn't your standard team, but there is a tank here, so let's see what happens. And hopefully I'll get a chance to show you guys just how quickly she can evaporate a tank. Yeah, I want to save it. You see on that counter, even though she didn't have any of her stuff proc, she did get her extra damage proc actually, but she went ahead and finished off that cane there, so that's pretty good. Now, unfortunately for me, Ramu is protected, so normally I would go stun somebody with Tayo, but right now there's really no point, so I might as well just come over here. Actually, I guess I could stun her. Yeah, it's probably the best choice. Alright, so we'll just go for this. Alright, so right here, You see, she got her carrot at the beginning here. She also has the talent attack increase I was showing you guys earlier. So let's see. This guy apparently has a resolve, but let's go ahead and see how much we would melt him for. Pretty much his whole life bar. A lot of damage flashed by, but I saw like a 23 or a 24k on top of another 4 or 5k. So that's pretty good, guys, because we basically just went right through his resolve there. And got to the point where Rue could finish him off. You know. Now Ramu's gonna bring him up. But you saw there, May just got taunted. Just wrecks him. So pretty good stuff right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and elect to keep this damage buff up. 30% additional damage for everybody. Throw some more damage increase up. Then right here, we can't go through Kane's shield. Cynthia could. But, you know what? For instructional purposes, we'll just do her 3. So, decent spread damage there. And especially when you can team up with someone like Eamon, who's going to guarantee her a counter. That's pretty good to have. Go ahead, start working on Kane here. So she got her carrot again, just erases Kane. And now it's, I forget, what is Ramu's skin called? Galactic Rep or whatever the fuck. I don't know. So we'll go ahead and just finish her off here. Now try to take her out on another PvP here. Hopefully we can get an Eamon and not a crazy Eamon Verdandi team. Although that's probably what's going to happen. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to switch the leadership up. Well, first let's see what kind of team we get. No tank. Is that Mary? Oh, that's probably like a... Let me see what their attack speed is. 609, yeah, that's probably like a Recu AoE team. Shall we try it? I'm kind of curious to see if this would wreck us. Alright, well, if I'm going to try this, let me get... I'm going to switch it up here. And then this way, both of my fire units aren't on the same thing, so it's a little bit harder for Verdandi to catch them both. Let's see how it goes. Man, I swear to God, this has been the only time that I've readied up for PvP twice and didn't see Eamon. Alright. Mary will probably ult. What is that crazy debuff? Immune to unable to be revived. Really? Alright, let's get the counter on since we're most certainly going to be eating some AoEs. Alright, real quick, I want to see what that thing Mary has up is. Increased damage dealt by skill 3, so I should probably try to kill her pretty quick. But we also got this Ramu who will just res her if I don't do anything. So. And it didn't work out. Now May didn't get her world record carrot here, so unfortunately for me, I am not ignoring armor. Which means we should probably just play it safe. We'll do a Quadra attack. Now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to stun Verdandi, just because don't don't want to deal with his or her crap right now. You know, I don't see us as an imminent danger, but then again, I guess Mary might actually G us. But you know what, I'm gonna save it, because most likely... I figured that was coming. So alright, so what I'm gonna try to do is land engraving on all three of these guys, because all three of them are about to ult. And good luck. We got two, but not Mary. Well, she took out Eamon. Alright, so now Mary's got her stuff back, so now I need to start thinking about... We actually need to kill her, unfortunately. So let's go for it. World record carrot. Did about 109k. Or, excuse me, 10k, almost 11k. Man, dude. Things were not working out for me there. Let's see if I can get May back. May's back and she has world record carrot, so we are going to try to kill her. And off she goes. Alright, so the most important thing is actually to kill him, even though... Right. Yeah, most likely she was gonna go down from the multi. So hey, she didn't have a taunt to showcase her, but she still did a good job there. Trying to think whether to tempt fate and find an Eamon. Let's see what we got. Ah, here we go. This is a more standard team. Alright, this should be a good showcase. We'll do this and then I'll call it for you guys. So. Oh man, I actually feel passionate about this. Alright, so May procced her penetration right now, so if anyone gets any type of penetration effect... May will have the option of going right through it, baby. Alright, so let's see. Number one thing I always try to do if Morgan's left alone is usually go right for Ramu, but there's an Eamon here. So instead... I am gonna try to kill, or not kill, but try to ulti Morgan. Alright, we gotta resolve. She has recovery, but you guys know how that goes, so... So now the question is, I got anti-penetration. Do I want to take a shot at Eamon? Which would actually probably be a bad idea at the moment. So instead, I'm going to do a triple attack and we'll concentrate on Rue. So we need to get her down ASAP. So they're going to be blowing all their skills to stay up. Alright, so we can probably take out Tayo with this. And there he goes. So he should be revived soon. What I'm going to try to do is take out Rue. So then that way we can miss a cycle and he won't be insta back up with all of his cooldowns. Ah man, that hit too hard. I was hoping that would stun. Alright, well, we managed to get Rue down, but it looks like Ramuh's probably going to get her back up. But the good part is, Tayo gets back up too, so now we just gotta kill Rue again. Oh boy, Morgan. Alright, so she's got Carrot, she's got Evade bonus, and she has Tayo's attack buff for one more turn. So once again, we just have to go all in on Rue. And there she goes. Now, the cool part about Mei too is since Rue's fire, she's dealing that extra elemental damage too. So since Rue's very commonplace in PvP, you'll be dealing that extra damage to her as well. Now we basically don't have to worry about reses for a bit. Unfortunately, Tayo doesn't have any charges, so I don't really want to hit the enemy Tayo until we get a couple. And let's get Morgan back up. See if we get insta-jib Ramuh while she's not taunted. Now we don't have to deal with any mitigation. So right there, she has Carrot once again, but no other buffs though. And then normally I would try to hit Tayo, but he has that damage decrease up right now, so I probably don't want to do that. So we're instead going to go right for Raymond. And of course he evades us. Hoping for a multi into Tayo. We eventually get the cooldowns back to deal with him better. Alright, so now she didn't proc Carrot, sadly, but Tayo's fairly low and he doesn't have his damage decrease, so I'm just gonna go for it. And luckily we got a good crit. And let's just keep plugging away. It's one of those Amons. Alright, turn 50, we got Carrot. If she would have hit there, that was bye-bye Amon. Especially with that defense down decrease, but... I wonder if this Amon has some more, evade. Alright, we got Clover. Let's see if we can do it. There you go. So you see even Amon there, that hit for 34k and 69k on top of that. And she didn't have all of her procs. So once again, she can melt tanks. You see the damage output she put out there. She can melt tanks like they're nothing. Doesn't matter how well built they are. If she gets taunted and she gets enough of her procs up, it's over. So, but, you know, you got to deal with keeping her alive, etc. So, but I hope that video showcases her a little bit, guys. And don't sleep on Mei. Mei's pretty good. Definitely recommend you do Cynthia with a similar build. I've already put out Cynthia videos, so. And yeah, dude, whenever you see those tanky teams in PvP, especially if you're doing guild battle, and you see a, you know, like double tank, triple tank, just laugh, dude, just laugh. You run Cynthia and Mei into there with, you know, some decent support or two, and then a setup. You'll be golden, man. You'll be golden. You'll just wreck those teams. have a good chance to get them before turn 32, assuming that you can get the rezzers as well. So anyways, guys, I'm ShowtimeDr, Showtime Doctor. You found my YouTube. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. I'm also over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ShowtimeDr. You can find me there. Streaming most nights, weekday nights and evenings usually. Sometimes we go overnight. And there's a link to the Discord. We got a nice Chronicle tab, so it's been a little slow. We had one guy call everybody like, this community seems really slow, and it was like the one day. It's like, dude, you came in on like 3 in the morning. What are you expecting? But maybe his time it was like noon. Who knows? But all right, guys. So that's it for me. I will catch you guys later on, and we'll get the major content patch probably coming later this week. They should do the announcement tonight, so I'll be here for all that. So stay tuned. Have yourselves a great day. Peace.